Mahalo, hola, hi, however you say, greetings, salutations. My name is Eric Elwin. Please feel free to call me Ty. Most of my friends call me Ty. I'm so glad to be here in ELA 550. It's been a long road to get here, so thank you for those who helped navigate these spaces so that I could be here. I appreciate that. And I am a PhD candidate in curriculum instruction, part of the 2016 cohort, who's almost finished with their coursework, except for me, who decided to tack on an ELA minor to mine, but that's okay. It needed to happen. It was part of my path, so I'm very glad to be here with you. I am a history teacher. I teach in Seattle, Washington, Highline College and Tacoma Community College. I'm also a musician. I'm an operatic bass, so you could probably tell by my voice. But I'm also a percussionist and instrumentalist. I play drums, I play keyboards, piano, and I also play guitar. I play guitar in a band. We play rock and music, and some funk, and some other things as well. So, music is my core. It's kind of where I live. If I wasn't an educator, I'd probably be a musician, although I'm both. I still go out and play gigs with my band, and I play acoustically as well. So I have 3 dogs, Murphy, Finley, and Jackson, that keep me very busy. In fact, you may hear them. If someone comes to our door, they're vicious guard dogs, except that when the doors open, they're not very vicious. But anyway, but they keep me occupied during the day now that it's summer and I'm not teaching. Movies, I kind of watch the psychological thrillers, TV shows, same. You may catch me, well, not anymore, but Dexter, Black Mirror, Walking Dead, anything that critically analyzes society and picks it apart, I like to watch. Movies, I'm a big John Hughes movie fan from the 80s. Don't ever watch a John Hughes movie with me. I will recite Breakfast Club or Ferris Bueller line for line, and it gets annoying. So, just a word to the wise. I'm a big sports fan. I grew up in Connecticut and New England, so I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. I'm a Patriots fan. Basketball, I'm a big Golden State Warrior fan from way back, meaning that Run TMC, that's when I jumped onto the bandwagon. So, I'm glad to see they're doing well now. It's been many, many years of being very bad. Ask the page. So, my path in music kind of lies to how I got to this education kind of thing. I'm a big fan of hip-hop. Hip-hop embeds a message that is cultural. It's part of who I am as an Afro-Hispanic. I'm an old-school hip-hop proponent, which means Nas, KRS-One, Tribe Called Quest. Anything that has a social message embedded, that's where I'm from. Jimi Hendrix is a huge influence of mine, as well as Prince, and of course Bob Marley. You know, Bob Marley, being Caribbean, I relate to that. Bob Marley sang to the people. He sang what they could not read in newspapers. He put it into his songs and empowered them and enlightened them. And so Bob Marley is a huge influence in my life and my family's life. There's not a family gathering that I ever have where Bob Marley is not playing in our house. And so we take that with us, and I think that's what's kind of steered my educational course, Frere, empowering and enlightening the disenfranchised. So my educational path has taken a pretty wide turn. I've lived in places like Hershey, Pennsylvania, where I milked cows and went to boarding school. I've lived in Florida. We all know Florida. I've lived in Georgia. I've lived in Kentucky and New Mexico. And now I'm in Seattle, Washington. In Florida, I went to the University of Central Florida. I double majored as a history and English major. That led me to New Mexico State in 2010, where I studied history. I did not plan to go into education. Someone in the Department of Arts and Sciences steered me over to O'Donnell and said, you should go talk to Dr. Jeanette Haynes Ryder. And I did, and they influenced me to, what inspired me, rather, to take up a master's in education as well. And so that's where I am. And then Dr. Rutledge gave me a call and said, hey, the cohort's starting. Would you like to be part of the cohort? Fill out an application. So I did. And it's probably the best decision I made. The hardest decision I made, but probably the best decision I made. I met some wonderful people in this program, from my chairs to people on my committee. Just wonderful people that have guided my path and they've given me so much knowledge to pass on. And that's NMSU, the education program. Going through it the entire length, I'm going to tell you, it's a wonderful experience. The people there are invested in social justice, and that's kind of where they lie. And in this program, it's very student-centric, and that's what I appreciate and admire, because at the end of the day, it's about the students. It's not about us, it's about the students. And so that's why I decided to tack on the ELA minor to my course work. But also I wanted to be able to navigate those spaces. I wanted to be able to be part of the conversation. We're excluded from a lot of that conversation, whether we are administrators or whether we are just faculty. We don't get to navigate those huge spaces of discourse that make decisions and mandate those decisions to us. And so I felt it was very important for me as an educator, but also as someone who potentially would be in that room as an Afro-Hispanic, to make those decisions for faculty and students of color, for administrators of color, just to be in that room, to be part of that conversation. And so this book and this class I'm very much looking forward to. I'm so excited to be here and engage in discussion with you, because I feel that's important. I feel that we should have this dialogue. Even if we weren't getting it for credit, we should have this dialogue. It's dialogue that's needed, so that we can take this dialogue back to our various institutions and push the envelope. I think it's important for us, for any type of social change going forward. And I think it's important, especially now, at this crucial juncture in our history. And that's the history I teach in my classrooms, a history from below. The history of knowing where we came from to know where we are today. I want my students to be able to make those connections, to empower them so they can see the trends, and then make the necessary changes in society to be empowered to. And I think that's what all education should be. Education should empower us to participate in social change and transformation. And that's why I became an educator. That and the rock star thing just didn't work out. But there's still hope for the rock star thing. But I'm so passionate about my work. I'm passionate about the work I'm doing in education, in breaking down barriers for students, for faculty of color, for inspiring you to stay as educators. Do not let the powers that be, the forces around us, do not let that keep you from persevering and enlightening students and your colleagues. And that's why I'm here, to just say I'm in this fight with you. I'm on the front lines with you. And so you have a soldier in me. So if you ever need me, let me know. So glad to be working with you. So glad to meet some of you. Look forward to discussing higher ed law with you and finding out more about you as people, your passions going forward. I know it's hard to do in this short introduction, and I'm going to tail off here because as a teacher we could talk for 45 minutes. I'm going to keep this video under 10, but I'm so glad to be here in this course. I'm so glad that people were able to navigate spaces that I could be here, and so it's only right that I learn as much as I can so I can navigate those spaces for other people as well. So look forward to talking more with you, learning more about you. Welcome to the course, and mahalo.